Hi, this is Steve from Mad About Golf, and in this video I want to talk about blended golf iron sets, or often known as combo, split or mix sets, and why they could potentially dramatically change your golf game. So in a previous video you probably saw that I got fitted for Titleist irons, and I tried the T100s, T150s, T200s and T350s. At the end of the fitting specialist from Titleist recommended that for my 4 to 7 iron I go with the T200s, and for my 8 iron to gap wedge I go with the T150s. So why mix two sets of irons into one set, right? So the logic behind it is that the T200s for my 4 to 7 irons are more forgiving, more of a solid feel, get the ball in the air quicker and give me a bit more distance. And then for the shorter irons, known as the scoring irons, the 8 to gap wedge, the T150s have more control, more feel and more workability. Yeah, so at first I wasn't actually quite sold on the idea of having two different models of irons in my bag, and mainly from a looks perspective, which is silly, right? Because looks don't equal performance, but in a way I think they do, because if you look at a club and you don't like how it looks, then it's going to affect your confidence in how you hit it, right? And I think that can impact your game. But what Titleist have done is they've obviously realized this, and they've made sure that the different models in the T series, they are designed to blend together really, really well. As you can see in these close-ups of each iron, they're designed to be pleasing on the eye and to match in a way, even down to where they've placed a logo on the back of each club. So I think, yeah, they've thought about that, and they know a lot of players like myself are very visual and they care about how it looks, because it does impact their confidence. Looking down at the T200s and the T150s, very, very similar. T200 obviously has a slightly thicker top line, but not by much. In the bag, yeah, they look very similar as well. The main difference is one is a chrome finish and one is a matte finish, and that's probably, if I could change anything, I would like to have them all in either a matte or a chrome. If I was to choose one, I'd definitely go with the matte finish of the T150s. I think they look awesome, but I do like the chrome finish as well. But yeah, that's my only sort of thing that I would change about it. So setting aside design and how they look, I think Titleist have nailed that. So let's talk about performance, and this is where it gets really exciting actually, what it does for me anyway. So traditionally when I pull out a 4 iron, I'm a little bit nervous, you know, they're a hard iron to hit. An example would be last year I owned a set of P7 MCs irons, and really nice irons, enjoyed playing them. However, when I pulled that 4 iron out, I felt like I could butter toast with it. I think Alex Etches in his golf channel described pulling out that 4 iron as he felt like he was shaking like a dog. And I know exactly what he means. I remember the first time that I shanked a 4 iron out of that set. I was very nervous to pull it out of the bag in future. That's not the case with the T200s. When I pull out the 4 iron, 5, 6 and even the 7, and it's not really a long iron, but it's a mid iron, but definitely the 4 and 5, when I pull them out of the bag, I feel confident. I know that they're gonna go a long way. I know that they're gonna have a nice trajectory, rising up quickly, and there is none of that sort of like vibration that you would get in those 7 MCs. It's very solid. Yeah, it just has a completely different feel, so that confidence factor definitely impacts how I play the shot. Now when I get closer to the green, then I can pull out the T150s from the 8 iron down to the gap wedge, and I know that I'm going to feel the shot more in the hands, and not in a bad way, meaning that I feel like I could work the ball better, I have more control over the ball, and I'll definitely get more feedback if I don't hit it right, which is what you want on those scoring irons. So blended sets aren't actually that new. Back in 1997, when Tiger Woods won his first Masters, he had some Mizuno irons in the bag, and he had I think it was the MP29s 2 to 4 iron, and then 5 down to pitching wedge, he had the MP14s, I believe. So yeah, they're not new, they've been around a while, but they're becoming more and more popular, and I think now the stat is 75% of all tour players have a blended set in the bag. But if you are thinking of getting a blended set of golf irons, definitely go and get fitted. Go to Titleist. You can book online at www.titleist.com.au. There's a lot goes into it, as you'll see in my Titleist video, and you can link to that in the description below. You know, there's a lot of things to consider, even down to they actually had to adjust the lofts of the T200s, make them 1 degree weaker so that they matched the gapping of the degrees of the T150. So I think something that I'd never really thought about, but you know, they understand that kind of stuff, so they make sure that every iron has the right gapping distance. So yeah, definitely go and get fitted. It will be, you'll enjoy the experience. I really did. I learned a lot about my own golf swing, and just to have that confidence to know that when you're playing a shot, you have been fitted for it, and if you play it badly, it's not the irons, it's you, right? So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. So in a previous video, you probably saw that I got... Really? Fucking helicopter. At the end of the fitting, the fitting specialist... Yeah, so at first I wasn't too sure about having two different models of irons in my bag, mainly from a looks perspective. Fucking dog. Blended sets actually aren't new. I think back in... my wife being an arsehole in the window. Hi. Oh.